Attilius Quint. Hello everyone and welcome back to our Rogue Trader playthroughs, episode number 68. Last time we met Irla and she agreed to join us, so we sent Adira back to the ship just to give her some rest, because she needs it while we try to help her recover and repair her implants. And today we're kind of just running around a bit, trying to figure out what to do, how to do it, all of that fun stuff. So yeah, anyways, we just met Attilius Quint. Stooped man wearing a cloak of the Adeptus Administratum is reviewing information on data slate while he's quietly wearing mechanical arms that fill a long scroll with writing. Upon noticing you, the man stretches his thin lips into a smile and deferentially bows. Light of the eyes of the service skull hovering over his right shoulder gently pulsate, making me feel like he's probably someone we can get info from. Your lordship, what an honor it is to address you in person. Allow me to introduce myself, Attilius Quint, Prefectus of the Officio Agricolte. I will preserve the record of our conversation forever. What record of our conversation? Your lordship, I painstakingly record every conversation with high-ranking personages. Afterward, I fill out all 7 accompanying forms personally. Attilius rolls up his completed scroll in a practiced gesture, stows it away, and pulls out a new one. Words and judgment are in good hands. His mechanical fingers fly over the scroll as he fills in another line. And of course, what great fortune it is to see, for the very first time in all my years of service, an emissary of the Navis Nobili here on Janus. I humbly welcome the esteemed laudable foresight. I thank you. Moments such as the appearance of a rogue trader must be preserved for posterity. What do you have to say about the governor's helper, Irlet? He looks askance and offers a strange smile. Highly exceptional individual. After today's regretful event, I'm beginning to hold her talents in particular esteem. Verily, even mutants who have seen the light of the God Emperor can faithfully serve his flock. However, Irlet's particular abilities could be an interesting study of subject for the Magos Biologus. Extended head shape, those eyes, judging by the skull that was given to me to send on to football. Such developmental anomalies on Janus are not a quirk of nature, but some kind of inheritable trait. She freezes completely, turning into a living statue. What did you say? Oh, madam, have my words upset you? I'm certain your kinsman would be delighted to learn that people wish to make some pretty presse papier out of his remains. Besides, I could be wrong about the nature of his origins. Why do you have to send skull to someone on footfall? It's part of a commission for a jeweler. Your lordship, one of the ladies of the court, sends this trinket along with precise instructions to the artisan who is encrusted with precious stones. One moment. Rummaging in a nearby container, Attilius draws out a parcel, which he immediately unwraps. Here it is. I believe the unfinished piece was intended to be given as a gift to the governor, but under the current circumstances, I doubt I'll be able to send it to footfall anytime soon. Irlet stares at the skull in silence. You can see her jaw working under her delicate skin. After a few seconds, she abruptly turns away. Pascal's mechadendrites reach toward Attilius with interest, seeming to unnerve him a little. Adequately preserved, it is a pity that it is empty inside. Could have become a proper service skull herald for the rogue trader, unorthodox. Remove it from my sight. Oh, yes, of course. Attilius hurriedly returns the skull to the container. Tell me, what are your duties here? By the grace of the God Emperor, I oversee the administrative apparatus on the planet and serve as secretary. I'm also responsible for the logistics related to supplying the planet to the Valancius Dynasty and the timely payment of tithes to the Imperium's official collectors. When did the collectorships last come to Janus? Oh, your lordship, I must confess that as of yet I have not had the pleasure of filling out a sacred tithe protocol form, as the last Imperial ships come here did so under my predecessor. Come to think of it, that would have been several decades ago. Do you hope the logisticians responsible for such an unforgivable oversight lose their heads over this? Speaking of Valancius Dynasty, when were the last shipments sent? Supply shipments are all in order. All foodstuffs and other items are ready for export and are simply awaiting the arrival of the transport ships. However, given the current circumstances on the planet, Janus could not provide even one tranche more than what is already prepared. I'm certain the situation will be rectified in the near future. As you wish. What do you think of Vistenza Viet? Governor is a superb leader. She possesses an excellent grasp of all matters and never uses an incorrect form for a given situation. I do not pry into her personal affairs, but if I may speak plainly, a lady who fills out paperwork with such finesse cannot be a bad person in my view. What is happening on the planet? Alas, your lordship, rebellions have caused us too many problems in recent times. The rebels are interfering with established processes, interrupting supplies, sabotaging the serfs' work. A few nobles have even been killed, and worst of all, some of the victims occupied important administrative posts till their replacements pass their checks, complete all their induction forms, and go through the official appointment procedure. Important paperwork is going unsigned. It's a bureaucratic catastrophe. I don't know. If he's an infiltrator, I'm going to be sad to kill him. If he's not, I like him. This guy has my respect. Because he's just such a silly little doofus. The absence of a required signature is, of course, the most horrifying thing about this situation. I knew that dry humor. Indeed it is. Financial reports, logistics directives, way bills for food shipment, without the signature of the most respected and now deceased head of House Arcaius. Shipments to settlements in Aegis 24 have been stopped. The heirs are still dealing with the transfer of holdings, and income reports tell us that a quarter of the workings in the effective settlement have already died of starvation, while most of those remaining have left the perimeter and have not yet returned to their designated places. Things continue in this vein. I dare not even imagine what it could lead to. There are worlds that are ravaged by war for generations. Generations, your lordship. That deranged planet by the nameless star, so close to our unperceivable system. The inhabitants there supposedly live under the patronage of rogue trader Winterscale. I shudder to think what he has created there. I want to know details. Where have the rebels struck and how? Of course. Okay, I will take a look at Unending War. I'll be delighted to furnish you with all the information I have. In the last few months, 15 organized attacks and 7 terrorist attacks have been perpetrated. Irrigation equipment has been sabotaged in agrarian sectors 3 to 5, transport routes 2, 7, 4, 13, and also... I suppose this will not tell you much, please. With a fast gesture, he presses several buttons on his data slate screen, and a 3-dimensional map with coordinates of the attacks appears on your cogitator. Drug tests succeeded, data is superbly collided, and the map clearly displays the actions of the rebels. At first glance, it seems to be no logic to the campaign, but after analyzing the data and the features of the terrain, you notice a clear system indicating a geographical pattern to their attacks. Who is directing the rebels? Does anyone know? The rebels are well-armed. Quest updated World Shapers. Well-armed and well-trained. What's more, the governor's advisors are inclined to think that the instigators of the rebellions are very familiar with the planet's terrain and climate. My ordinates are going through registration records day and night looking for individuals who have completed military training, but so far we've been unable to identify the scoundrel. What are you doing to combat the rebels? Security services are tracking those who support the rebels, and our regular wardens are wiping out these saboteurs without the slightest mercy to keep on appearing. My scribes have been run off their feet, keeping records of all the public hearings and executions, but I'm confident the governor will find a solution soon. What do you know about the attack on the estate? A disgraceful incident? Simply disgraceful. Cannot believe these scoundrels would dare come so close and to drag nobility into this as well. If they penetrated the estate, that means they had help from some worthless servant or other. Security is currently questioning the survivors, but the culprit has not been found yet. Attilis Quint smiles unpleasantly. Yeah, I have a feeling whoever it is probably is going to regret their actions based off that smile. Take my leave. I look forward to meeting you again, your lordship. Immediately go to journal. World Shapers. Some information. Definite vector of movement, making it possible to narrow the search area. Okay. Okay, you're just a noble? Oh, I thought you would have had info. Sir Technomat. Seal containers are marked with the familiar symbols of the Munitorum and additional seals of a forge world unknown to you. The crates contain high-grade weapons likely made to order. So the weaponry. Security officer, as soon as we got this last, sooner we can report that the clan's operation is complete. Security officer. Hulking man dressed in a uniform. Watch where you pointing those hoses. Last thing we need is a poisonous gas cloud in the air over the estate. Hulking man dressed in a uniform marking him out as an officer of the gubernatorial wardens is closely monitoring his subordinates as he found a building. Sensing your approach, he whips out his face going pale, and he offers a low bow. Your lordship, please do not stray too close to the building. One of the terrorists from today's attack has holed himself up in there. He could be dangerous. What's going on here? Ready to report, your lordship. We conducted a sweep of the area after attack. All the assassins were arrested or neutralized except for one. He sealed himself inside. He's already injured 2 wardens to try to reach him. There's no need to worry. We'll poison him and clear the last dregs of dirt from the estate. Only one question, officer. Why have you not already done it? The rogue trader's here, and the longer you delay, the more you put his life needlessly at risk. The officer flinches slightly at Abelard's snarl. It is inexcusable, your lordship. The barrels of poison were only just delivered. We're ready to begin now. What's so special about this building? It's one of the utility buildings. Fortunately, it was empty at the time of the attack. There are no potential hostages or innocent people inside. If you ask me, I think this was the first place the killer came to when... great, my brain. When he was beating his retreat, managed to round up all the others, but this one holed himself up in here. It's not an empty utility building, but an active backup crypt for storing refrigerant and freezing equipment. This is obvious. Your ignorance is depressing, servant. Sorry. You're going to poison the rebel? We're using insecticide from our stockpiles, your lordship. We don't have any military-grade poisons, but we don't need them, not for this parasite. Who is he? Tell the truth, your lordship, I'm more concerned with clearing the area right now than with his identity. We're not expecting to get any valuable intel from him unless we find something on his corpse after we've done our job. I want to talk to the person inside. Are you sure? It's not exactly safe, your lordship. The officer's eyes involuntarily sweep over you, sizing you up. Dare to question me? Out of my way. The officer seems to remember himself and offers another low bow. Forgive me, your lordship. Act as you see fit. The officer signals. The other wardens take a deferential step back, clearing your path to the door. Alright, let's see what this is here. The most effective representatives of the local flora are assembled in the flower bed. Unfamiliar plants are ripening on the carefully pruned unfamiliar fruits are ripening on the carefully pruned plants. Okay, sorry, I couldn't get my words out for some reason. Bit sad, to tell the truth. Alright. Let's go inside and deal with this rat. Wounded rebel, when you approach the solid door, high boyish voice sets out. Piss out. Piss off, you won't take me alive. I'm not doing coercion. Examine the door. Break down the door. Pick the lock, adjust the officer. Nope, I'm gonna do awareness. Approach the solid-looking door. A high, boyish voice shouts out, piss off, you won't take me alive? Better to put a bullet in my brain than let the governor's dogs get their hands on me. The awareness test succeeded. The door looks solid and formidable, but you notice a dark mark on the hinges, a sure sign that the material is degraded. The lock doesn't look new either. With a suitable tool, could easily be open. Alright, let's try to break down the door. Strength test succeeded. A few powerful blows and the door flies open, revealing the way inside. Wounded rebel. Inside is poorly lit, but you spot a person standing in the far corner. Where? Oh, there. He is desperate, gripping a discharged las gun. Desperately gripping a discharged las gun in his hands. At the sight of you, his eyes widen in recognition and fear. It can't be the rogue traitor. The young man, practically a boy, falls to his knees and stretches out his bloody hands towards you. His clothes are burned on one side and grimy with baked in blood. Your lordship, have mercy. You are the sovereign of this planet. Only you have the power to save us. Youth is a time of recklessness. I've heard that said more than once in the Scholar Progenium and during my novitiate, but youth is also a time of directness. Let us listen to this young man before we judge him. Why should I listen to a filthy insurgent? You can't just stand aside while your vassals are destroying your world. The governor is doing whatever she wants, rounding up families, raising whole settlements. She's turned the whole world into a slaughterhouse. People are rounded up like rocks from the settlements, supposedly to go to the palace, and they're never seen again. Servants pour something over the fields, and then people lose their minds. Start hearing voices and seeing evil spirits, and while we're dying, she's sitting on her white walls and feasting on our bones. Aerolet's face twists. Sacrifices, madness, pain, and death. Even in so primitive a society as this, such rites seem senseless, not worthy of such efforts. What is this, a random quirk of nature or something darker? The work of her handmaiden, that servant that she introduced, that was her work. This is all her work. Sorry. That's what I meant to say. I am absolutely 100% confident of that. Like, the only way I could be more confident is if she came out and said it. So this leads to the question of what to do about it. Probably just go cowabunga. I mean, honestly, there's nothing more fun than just going cowabunga. We'll see, though. Telling me people are seeing evil spirits? Yes. Others are going feral and attacking their loved ones, and then there's the boy lowers his voice. People say that in some settlements, well, they've stopped upholding the law altogether, imperial law, and the law of basic human decency. People are turning into animals. Who is behind the rebels? Swallows nervously. Your lordship? I beg you, don't ask me that. I can't sell out my brethren. It's over for me, but the others, I won't betray them. Tell me or I'll tear this world apart to get rid of garbage like you and your brethren. Your lordship, please, no, don't hurt the others. Shaking rebel curls up on the ground under your gaze. Never been their camp, none of us have, only the chief saw one person from their base. He came a few times bringing weapons and orders. He said he represented a greater force than we could imagine, but he said that the governor's dogs will pay for their reprisals in the settlements. That's not where they're hidden. Keep their distance from ordinary folks. We have it all worked out so that if anyone gets caught, the others aren't caught with them, but I swiped the chief's Vox. I thought after I killed the governor, I could use the message coordinates to find the base and hide out there. The boy retrieves a Vox from his pocket and holds it out to his shaking hand. That's everything I know, your lordship. Get up and come with me. I'll give you my word as a rogue trader. You will live. Rebel looks at you in bewilderment and then bows low before you. When he speaks, his voice trembles. Your lordship, thank you. Thank you for this kindness. I never thought I'd survive this. Security officer. The officer of the wardens casts a disdainful look over the rebel before turning his gaze on you. Heretical. No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do dogmatic. Your lordship, I honor your bravery. Please allow me to get rid of this rat for you. This man is now under my protection. See to it that he is... Nope. Escort this man safely to the perimeter of the estate. He is free to go. Dumbfounded expression appears on the officer's face. With the deepest respect, your lordship, the officer thinks better of his next words and abruptly bows. It will be done. Thank you, your lordship. Without your patronage, I would already be dead. Gave me the answer I needed. So back to the estate, not quite yet. Not quite yet. Goods. Let's just get what goods I can. So I'm trying to think about what I want to do.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Either the governor really is like corrupt and a heretic, or not corrupt but a heretic, or more likely, in my opinion, people are taking advantage of the rebels. So let's go to our journal now. World Shapers. Vox with according to levels conversations will make it possible to launch large. Okay, so let's go to our inventory. Got the Vox thing now. Where's it at though? Rebel Vox. Damage Vox with a log of the rebels' conversations. Turn to the void ship. I then talk. Airlet gestures for your attention. As you once sought my help, now I'm seeking yours. Time has come to dispel the final shadows on our path. Hidden the truth from you. Know a great deal about those who are disturbing the peace of the local ruler, and I also know where they are hiding. Allow me to show you the way, on the condition that you bring them to me. I don't think the rogue trader needs your revelations right now, Xenos. This is even assuming that you're not lying as well. Why did you not say anything? No other path was open to me, but now our paths are aligned. My decision was motivated not by caprice, but by reason, which compels me now to be honest with the person who can fix all this. Everything you have discovered, everything you have learned from your kind, they are all traces of the same calamity. A calamity that will eclipse all the strife and wars on the face of this world. All the signs were plain to see, but I was here, and the monkey failed to recognize the coming storm. Please follow me, Max Schreiber. You must, if this world truly matters to you. We'll see what this is about in the next episode.